Recording in progress.
Got it. Well, I always help him. Oh.
Here
What do you want me to do with it?
on the table
Yeah.
there. Thank you.
You're welcome. Or this way?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you want it back here, don't you?
No, that's
No?
fine.
Oh, that's there, okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Eloise.
You're welcome, thank you. Sorry, I didn't know didn't realize you needed the help, Tom. You said so.
Oh, did I drop it?
We'll drop again.
Get a mess. All right. Opening the meeting. My name is Tom and I'm the president of the resident council. Do we have any newbies here? Yes, we do. We have Tim. Welcome, Tim.
Thank you.
This is your first resident council meeting. And as a new member, well, any resident here isn't automatically a member of the resident council. So you're already a member and you're already here and welcome. I wish you would share a little bit about some of your talents, because I didn't realize how wonderful, great you are a musician. Can you?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, can you share a little bit?
I don't know what to say. I've been a singer, songwriter, musician for forever. I grew up in the church, so I started playing piano and organ for our Sunday school and church services when I was about 12 years old.
Wow.
I did that because I grew up in a country church. I grew up in a town called Wabash, Ohio. And probably only had 150 people that lived in that area, but we had a country church there. And people came from all over to go there. But we didn't have much of a congregation. We had probably 75 people each Sunday. And
Well, half the town.
huh?
Half the town.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I didn't think of it like that. But that's where I got my start, and I learned a lot, and I'm just so glad I had that beginning, because that put me out there and made me not so scared, and have stage fright as maybe some other people would have. After that, I took piano lessons for close to 12 years, and I also played in the band. I played oboe in the orchestra, along with tenor sax, and played in jazz band. Played the piano in the jazz band, let's see. In college, I started doing more singing. So in college, I had a double major. I had psychology and also music with concentration in piano and voice. So that was my college education. And I taught piano and voice for several years before I ended up moving to Indianapolis and lived there for 12 years. And while I was there, I kind of took back, and I started working for a music company. I don't know if you guys remember in the magazines and papers and stuff back then, they used to have an advertisement, 12 CDs for the price of one.
Yeah.
And so I worked for that company, BMG, and worked there for 12 years until they finally disbanded. And so they taught me how to work on computers. I worked on their website. I did IT support for them. I did a little bit of everything. I was a warehouse liaison. Any new thing that came up, I asked my supervisor to let me be a part of it because I wanted to know a lot of things and to be knowledgeable. And so, then after that, it was right during the Great Recession. So I put out like 25, 35 resumes a day and nobody would call. You get no calls. And I heard that from a lot of my people, a lot of my friends are in the same boat. Just, nobody was hiring at that time. And, so at that point I thought, well, let's go to IT school. So I went to a college down in Indianapolis for IT. And, they had these beautiful big office chairs that you could sit in, to listen to the lectures, and the lectures were about an hour long. And even though those chairs were so plush and so wonderful, I could not sit in that chair for more than like a half an hour before my legs just started having massive pain. So that's when I started to get what I call sick. I started to have problems with my body, and then I ended up moving back to Fort Wayne because I thought I had a lot of friends and family here, and I thought, well, if I'm going to be sick in the hospital perhaps and all that, I'd rather be here where I have more support. So that's why I came back to Fort Wayne. I love Indianapolis. I would love to be back there, but it's just not in the cards right now. So anyway, that's what brought me back here, and then little by little, they found out things were wrong with me in my legs. They found out I needed a new hip.
Oh,
So once they put the new hip in, the pain miraculously went away in both legs. It's like I woke up from my anesthesia and I had no pain. It was just incredible. And, but after that point, I started getting, having nerve pain and stuff, and now I have spinal problems. I have a lot of spinal problems. My neck is just really bad. And, when they did the MRI of my complete spine, there were so many vertebrae that were problems. And, so I have pinched nerves in my neck. I have, those long spears that come out. What are those called? Spurs, yeah, several spurs. Yeah, just stenosis, which is the narrowing of the spine. I have that, and so after I had my hip surgery, I thought, well, I'm going to be back to normal and everything. And let me tell you one more quick thing, I'll be done. The reason I'm in the wheelchair is because I was in so much pain back there, I could barely walk. So they put me in a wheelchair, and once I had my surgery, most people get up and walk the next day, and the therapy, and they have them up walking. Well, I had been in the chair for almost 3 years, and so my back muscles had atrophied. And so when I'd stand up, I could only stand up for like a minute or so because my back muscles would not hold my body.
yeah.
And back then I was much thinner than I am now. You're in a wheelchair, you can't do anything hardly, and so you can't exercise hardly, and so I gained weight because of that. But now I'm hopefully on the mend. I'm starting to walk more with a walker and get those back muscles, get those back so I can stand up. PT was working with me standing up, seeing how long I can stand up and working on that. And so hopefully you guys will see me maybe in 3-4 months, maybe you'll see me be able to walk with just a cane, and I'll be able to come down to the dining room and just, have a cane. So, but that's kind of my story. But music was my big thing. And I have some ideas of some things I want to throw out at the residents here as far as music goes.
Awesome.
So you'll just have to wait and see what comes with those. So
Okay.
Stay tuned. Thank you, Tim, for
thanks
sharing.
asking.
Tim, what's your last name?
Dewar,
Pardon me,
Dewar,
Dewar, how do you
Yeah.
spell it?
Duerr. Still German name.
Okay,
Very uncommon though.
yeah. Thank you,
You're welcome.
And this is Pam Spencer. I forgot to introduce you.
that's all right.
Pam is
Most
our
everybody.
elected as secretary for this year. And then, of course, Patricia Monroe is the vice chair. She unfortunately lost her husband this week. If you haven't heard already, Neil passed away yesterday. And she's threw out she wants to have her celebration of life here sometime. She threw out a date of March 30th, but it's just a tentative date.
No, she's just April 6th.
April 5th?
6th.
April 6th, is that a Sunday? Okay, April 6th will be the celebration of life for Neil right here at Evergreen Village. And I think, so our prayers are with Patricia and their period of grief. See, let's move on to, well, welcome, that's the welcome. I don't have much of a president's report. Most of it's in what I need to talk about is on the agenda. So let's go right to the minutes. If you could,
Sure.
let's read and approve those.
Okay. Tom called the meeting to order at 2:05 on March the 12th last month. Gave his president's report and his usual greeting. Also asked everybody to make sure their phones were turned off or at least on mute during the meeting. He stated that different additional services of vendors have been asked for, such as massage, manicures, nails, another beautician, and other educational presentations, opportunities. Judy has someone lined up for nails and massage, all of which he stated everyone will pay out of pocket. It cannot be added to your monthly bill. And then Marcia stated that her daughter had been in the beauty industry for several years, 32. She could probably help with finding another beautician. She would contact her and get back to us. Tim asked about a dialysis coming in. He will suggest it to Emily. Well, I guess Tom will suggest it to Emily. Sorry, that's an error. Emily's plan for Gabby is for her to go to other communities that Garnet owns to see how they do things. There are a lot of different ideas about that. He encouraged residents to go to the food council meeting, which is Thursday at 1 in the gathering room. He also said that they talked about pharmacy and nursing, no issues, the call buttons, response times, and staffing. And they also brainstormed transportation ways to improve. And then Melissa got up and talked. She discussed the transportation, how now only sign up in the mailroom will be for special occasions. The notebook is still there, but it'll be for, different things, not for Walmart trips and that extent, okay? I guess she said other outings than Walmart and etc. As for Walmart or grocery shopping, it's the first come, first serve. Check in with her when you go down and also sign out on the sheet so the office knows where you are. Judy asked about getting a bus driver. That would run into budgeting, corporate, so would have to run by Emily and then to corporate. She also asked about going to different places like Michael's and etc. Linda asked if she knew if Aldi's took the food card from the insurance and about going to Aldi's. And I understand that, Aldi's does take. Right on the floor. Aldi's does take the card. Well,
Aldi's does.
yes, that's what I understand. That's what Bill Jack said. So it's hearsay, so to speak. Melissa said she didn't know, but if they took the card or not. And she said, yes, we could go to Aldi's. Haven't gone in the past so much because they don't have riding carts for people. But noticed the last time she was there, they did have one. So that's a plus. Charlotte asked if there was any way to take out the back two seats so two more wheelchairs could get on the bus. Melissa stated she would talk to Anthony about it, and the only reason she could see not was because of seatbelt. Or she could go could she go 2 times a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon? She wasn't sure about that because of the time. Larry asked about the dog run. Has anything been decided on that? He stated that whatever they decide, we'll just have to live with. Tom stated that this summer in August, there will be a 5-year party for this location. Because it opened in August of 2020, so they're planning a big party for this location. Tom asked for adjournment. Carol moved to adjourn. Don seconded. Meeting was adjourned at 3:05. Then I have that, just a little few notes down here that is all more or less the same thing we talked about with 8 minutes.
Thank you very much. One correction would be the Tim part there when you said Tim asked about dialysis coming in. And I did ask the head of nursing, Taylor, which her background is dialysis. And she said because of certain restrictions and insurance, they cannot have dialysis here. So that was a good idea, but unfortunately.
And that was the DON Taylor.
Yeah. So we need a motion to approve the minutes. Eloise, need a second?
Second.
Sherry seconded. All in favor? Aye. It's passed. Thank you very much. We, and I want just briefly, has everybody signed in for the drawing? Did you get your smart bucks? Everybody get a ticket in the bags here? Don't want you to.
How about I just sign everybody's name on it?
Perfect. While you're doing that, we'll continue, and then I do want to ask you a few questions later. Sharon?
Okay, this is Sharon's.
Yeah.
That's for the guys.
Yeah, you put it in the man's bag.
Thank you, Eloise.
Food Council is gonna be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And that's the 13th. That's number 1 on the old business agenda. Number 2 is the bylaws. Pam and Patricia were assigned to take on that with me.
And I went over them, but nobody has contacted me or Patricia that I know of for a
Yeah,
meeting.
yeah. Well, we've been a little distracted.
Yeah,
With Neil.
that's true.
The purpose there is they're a little bit outdated and they needed to be updated. But the way we do things here, like I think it states that the president and the secretary and the vice chair are elected for 6-month terms. And
Well, that's but remember those minutes I gave you, we voted on all that
right,
and we changed it to a year.
yeah, but we need to correct
Correct that paper, okay.
Right. So it's on the paper there. Here's
Okay.
and the bylaws are it's our constitution. It's our how we operate document. Another one was the possible additional services. This is on old business for Evergreen. And what I'm talking about there is what we're talking about there is people come in to help us with a massage or nails or facials or whatever. And the lady that did the Mary Kay is coming in March 25th. And I put her flyer on the back of the agenda. And that night, she's gonna be here from 6 to 8 PM in the fitness room right across the hall here. And she'll be doing, so whoever signs up to wanna do that night, she'll be here then, and yes, she'll be continuing to come. And yeah, Eloise,
Fitness hall, right?
what?
Fitness hall down there.
No,
That's in the next floor down.
This one down here,
this one here. On the,
Oh,
or right down, you know,
and
I don't know, what door or two, yeah,
oh, yes, yes.
that's right.
so she'll be in there at 7 to 8 or 6 to 8 that evening, March 25th. And we also have some students coming in from a local college to do nails and that kind of thing. I don't have a date for that. And then you're working on your daughter.
Oh, yes. She is going to get back on that. She drives clear up to Michigan. And
Okay.
she's got a big area she covers, but I told her, yes, you are definitely looking for someone here. So she said she'd start asking more faithfully now that she's close to home again.
And I have another lady that's possibly gonna do some massages or nails or facials here too. And when we do get these arranged, we'll put together flyers that'll be posted. So this flyer will also be posted too. But I wanted to talk about it before we did that posting and let people know here at Resident Council what's going on. And like these things, I think I've mentioned this before, you know, Gretchen can have it billed. This lady, we won't be doing that. You have to pay her direct. And anybody else that we bring in, you'd have to pay direct, either cash or Venmo, or she does take credit cards. So a lot of these people will hopefully offer various ways for payment for their services. So that's that. Any questions? Five-year anniversary, or no, I'm looking at the old one. Looking at the wrong agenda. Okay, here we go.
Educational opportunities.
Oh, yeah, educational opportunities. Looking at a few items there. One of them, the lady that wrote this book, which is entitled Off with the Old and On with the New, a biblical guide to cultivating character in your children. I know we don't have too many parents of young children in here, but we all, that maybe most of us have some children or know of grandchildren, great grandchildren and all that.
And
But I've asked her to come in to talk, I mean, about her book, but also basically to talk about writing and writing a book. So anybody that's interested in what she did, I mean, she's just a regular, she's not full-time author or anything like that. She just, her heart was there to do this book and it was her calling. So I thought that'd be interesting to bring her in. We've got some other things as well coming up.
can you get it?
And then moving on to open discussion, new business, anything new that we want to talk about? Yes, Eloise.
Some time ago, several months ago probably, about 8:30 o'clock. A nurse came down on our floor, knocked on my door and opened it and said, "You okay?" And I said, "Yes." She shut the door and went on. She was making a check on everybody. And I have often wondered if people aren't seen on the floor for 3 or 4 days, does anybody go to check on them?
They're
Yeah.
supposed to.
I don't know. I don't know what the procedure is, but that's a very good
I
question.
don't know, but it seems to me you could lay dead and nobody know it.
Yeah,
Well, I've been in my room for a week or
Well, it's
more,
all right, I just, people,
and nobody ever checked on me, so.
I will find out what the procedures are.
I've been in my room for long periods of time. Nobody ever.
but they know you are, right? They know? They haven't said anything.
Nobody knows if they come in there.
Yeah.
They were probably looking for somebody probably wanders.
Anybody else have anything? I'm gonna find out about that.
Okay, and I had three things I'm gonna tell you.
What?
Gretchen, not Gretchen. Cricket. Came back in the hospital and was put back in her room. She was unable to sit up or get up by herself. They left her food on a kitchen-like counter. She didn't eat. Well,
Oh, no.
that was the problem. And just this morning, I heard Gretchen complaining she had a bad chair and she needs to replace for all the people that go through there. And I don't think you'll ever get two people in there at a time.
Well, not at a time. We're talking about different days.
So,
She might have to supply her own,
I'm sorry,
she might have to supply her own furniture though, wouldn't she?
there's no room in there.
You got that,
No,
you write that down.
yeah, I'm getting.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Oh, good.
not for this group, but I just wanted to
Yeah.
tell you. But the thing about Cricket was really bad.
Yeah,
Now they've taken her back to the hospital and they've taken her to rehab. See, paralyzed on one side for 18 years now. She really needed, they could have at least put food on her bed where she was
Yeah.
lying.
thank you.
That's-
No fear. Anything else? Okay, Renee. Let's, what's on the, activity schedule coming up and exciting and. No, you gotta work.
Well, this month's calendar, I will tell you, was like prepared by Melissa and I, before Melissa left. To be honest, I do not know when Melissa's coming back. I mean, she's on a leave, so it could be a couple months. I am currently taking care of everything. And I have already worked on next month's calendar, which I'm
Yay.
really proud of.
That's
I will, I want to add some different crafts that I know we haven't done. I'd like to get something out there for the men to do, but I know it's hard because I don't know what they like to do. I mean, I've talked to them, you know, like, I do get a lot of men down for the exercising that we do. What few I have in here, but as far as, I will say this, as far as the bus driving or anything like that, until we find out what Melissa is going to do, we will stick with every other Monday going to the store, and most likely it's just Kroger. Thank goodness that the maintenance guys are dropping us off and picking us up, or we wouldn't be going at all.
Yeah.
I'm not insured. I do know how to drive it. I don't know if you wanna see me drive it. I do know how to drive. I'm just not insured, and that's the only thing that we have to do we have to take a test. It's not just gonna happen overnight, so. And, I don't know if anybody has any ideas with more things to do in activity. I've also been like looking at the educational, more things like that, like what else can we do? On the IN2L, you get a room full of people in there, there's a lot, it's a lot. And I know that being in the office isn't really like a thing on my list to do, but I'm doing it. So I'll try to keep things going for everybody. If you have anything, let me know.
Any questions for Renee?
She's doing a wonderful job.
Yes,
Yeah,
posting everything.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful. People don't read that long sheet stuff.
Thank you.
Know each day what's going on.
oh, yeah, that is,
On the elevator, that is nice, yeah.
Did she read that? I thought it was, each month. First, it was someone who had never been to Walmart. They were not just letting, yeah, you're supposed to be down there in time. But I thought they were taking people that had never been there or it was once a month.
So on the sign up, when we had all the sign up sheets in the mailroom, that became a big problem. People were scratching other people's names off. If you can fit in a seat, it's just because our wheelchairs are limited. Even if we took out those 2 back seats, I was trying to think about this. If we took out those 2 back seats and we put 2 more wheelchairs in, then we're limited spots for the people that can transfer and sit. You know, the people with the walkers or buggies, whatever you wanna call them, we would have the places for those people. So the wheelchairs, since there's only 2 spots, they're the ones that really are marked to go like every other week, like, so once a month. Now that we're down to every other week, they're down to once a month. But on the other Mondays that we don't go to the store, I do know how to order groceries. And I'm sure I can figure it out, even though I don't order my own groceries, but I'm sure I can figure it out. So if anybody needs help on those Mondays, on those classes, we can do it right down there in the activity room on the computer together.
I don't dare, I know I even dare ask this. But when you're told what time we are leaving and we wait 20 more minutes for that person. And you have to run in and look all around. I wouldn't let him go every time.
She witnessed that a couple weeks ago. I had to go in the store, not once.
oh, in the store,
People.
oh, boy,
So that's another problem. When we do go to Walmart, it's a bigger area.
yeah,
They can just go. Yeah, and everybody else is done, like, they should be on time waiting with all their groceries, where they have ice cream or not, but we're waiting.
yeah,
So then I had to run back in, and then I couldn't find somebody else, so then I had to run back in.
ah,
Brandon went one way and I went the other way to look for the last person. Yeah.
Well, you know, the driver had said something that he needed to leave that time. He had something else. And to have someone who's habitually doing that, I just don't think it's right for the bus driver.
Yeah.
Is it just gonna be on a Monday, Renee, that you go?
Monday in the mornings, they have like less, I guess. It would help them because they're more busy through the afternoon. So we can go in the morning, he drops us off, he can come back, work for an hour and a half or so, and then go back and pick us up.
Okay. So it's only in the morning and only on Monday is when you're gonna go, okay.
anything else, Renee? Okay, we're gonna wrap it up here, I think we're done unless you have anything else to say. Tim,
I just thought of something.
yeah,
And I'm just telling you all because I don't know if you know it, but I think it's kind of interesting that this happened. It's not a good thing, but, the, physical therapy department, has been told, this is what I've been told, okay, so hopefully it's correct. But they've been told by corporate that they can no longer take Medicaid patients.
No.
That's not true.
Oh, that can't be. We all have Medicaid.
No, I have two people in there told me that. Just came down the pipe about that.
today?
We'll check that out.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
That would be,
Yeah, that's
something
concerning.
I don't know about. Yeah, I know.
that's concerning.
Yeah, I was told that, you see, my therapy ended this week, and, well, a couple of people, I don't know their names. But-
Man,
The man and also one of the women, both, they both did, on different times. But, what was I gonna say? Oh, my therapy was supposed to end this week, according to my insurance. And normally they would try to up it because I
Yeah.
need more, because they're trying to get me out of the chair. And, so I asked, can we request more? And that's when it was brought up, no, we can't do that because we're not, corporate said we're not taking,
Okay,
Medicaid patients any longer. And I said, well, would they take Medicare? I mean, I was just curious, because I'm not old enough to be on Medicare, I just felt like, gosh, that's,
Is it our corporate or their corporate?
they said,
do you
corporate.
have insurance besides?
No, I just have Medicaid, so it's, they're saying the Medicaid only people.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll find out for sure what.
Yeah, but
What
still,
that is.
I feel like people should know that,
Yeah,
I mean, so.
yeah. And that's,
There's something going on with the new lady in Indiana who is handling Medicaid. She is so screwed up, she's just going like this and that. And there, yes, have any of you, anybody else heard that? And I know they asked for like they said, we had 2 cars. We don't have 2 cars. We haven't had 2 cars for years. And we sold our Volkswagen like 6 months ago. And there was a whole list of things they had us, do you know I got in the mail yesterday or the other day? I got a thing from Trans-American and they buy a lot of insurance companies. They had my correct address and all that, so they connected me. But I have an insurance policy that my mother took out when I was just a little girl. And it was Marshall Tucker Box 97, Arcola.
Yeah.
That's where I was raised. They get people.
You're talking about your own personal lady you deal with for Medicare and stuff. You're talking that, right?
No, the one that has taken over for the state of Indiana. She's young and she's never handled this type of stuff before. And she is just going down through, our attorney was telling us, no, our attorney has taken care of everything.
Is she related to Trump?
Well, he beats a few before that, but
Probably was him.
so go back to the issue you brought up with the Medicaid only. And, something like that, and then also, these things that I'm checking out, we'll get that in writing out to every resident, whether it's me or like in that case, in your case that you're bringing up with the physical therapy folks, they should be putting out a memo
Mhm.
to all residents saying we're doing this now, or we're not doing this now, or whatever the situation is. So,
Here's a lot of people.
yeah, so let's not run on the hearsay until we get
Yeah.
things figured out and stuff. So that's all I wanted to say about that. And then, if not, we'll have
I make a motion to adjourn.
to adjourn. Is there a second?
Well, no, we need to do the drawing.
We could do that after the adjournment.
Okay, all right.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you. Renee,
Now it's my turn.
your turn with the raffle.
2 seconds.
Marcia. Tim.
I don't know what man.
Beginner's luck.
You put Tom's name in there.
Awesome. I donated the toilet paper.
Yeah, Pam.
Pam.
So I can come.
Well, pick somebody.
Okay. Lois.
Lois.
There you go.
I told I would like to pat it.
They're gonna create the.
Oh, no.
It's not fun. It's double-sided tape.
Oh,
It works on everything.
it's working good, isn't it?
I said, I'll probably just go.
Looks nice.
Chelsea helped me.
Yeah.
Really good.
There we go.
And
Awesome. What kind of stuff you got in there
okay,
besides the toilet paper?
Do some,
Oh, nice.
what pretzel?
is that a bath towel?
Yeah,
Bath towel,
nice big one.
Wow.
Baby.
aftershave.
Cool.
Right.
In the containers.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
nice.
I like the container, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I'll put a lot of stuff, you want me to carry this for you, Tom?
Oh, that was your problem?
I think so.
Lupa?
No, that's not lupa.
What is it?
What do they call them?
I call it a little bath scrunchie.
Yeah, I forget what they call them, but the loofah is harder.
Oh, I know what you're
Definitely.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm taping everything. I'm taping.
Yeah.
So my